Without so much as a warning, life hangs in the balance. Human endeavor turns to chaos. And within seconds, nothing will ever be the same. Ever. I'm Ron Pitts, and you're about to see some of the most amazing moments of destruction ever caught on tape. From a giant tornado that lifts an entire house into the sky to a billion-dollar military disaster. Sit back, fasten your seatbelts, because this is Destroyed in Seconds. The charred wreckage of a speedboat lies aside a desert road. Moments ago, this boat was racing across a lake at 150 miles per hour. Bakersfield, California. Two flat-bottom drag boats in the finals at Ming Lake. The far boat gets off to an early lead, but the near boat begins to close the gap. As they cross the finish line, the far boat takes the checkered flag. The other boat should now begin to slow down, but it's clearly out of control, continuing across the lake at full throttle.
Red light, red light.
And it's only a matter of time before he runs out of water. Black smoke bellows from behind the trees.
We boat off the top end. Rescue only.
As rescue crews arrive, the fate of the driver is unclear.
We're not exactly sure what happened, but as soon as we know, we'll let you know.
Unseen by most onlookers, the driver manages to bail out at the last second and skips across the water, stopping just short of the shoreline. Then, the driverless boat hits the bank, launches into the air, and clears the trees. Rescue crews finally arrive and struggle to pull the driver aboard. As they rush him to the shore, he indicates that he's okay. This angle clearly shows the boat's trajectory as it launched off the bank, traveled 100 yards over the grass, past a parking lot, over a hill, and beyond a fence. If the driver hadn't been able to bail out, there's little chance he would have survived. An investigation into the crash concludes that a stuck throttle and a disabled kill switch were responsible for this mishap. What you are watching is not a Hollywood special effect. In fact, it was shot more than a half-century ago and considered so historically significant that it's preserved in the United States National Film Registry. 1938. Massive concrete anchors are dropped into Puget Sound, and construction begins on what will be one of the longest suspension bridges in the world. For over a year and a half, workers erect the 440-foot towers, run the 17-inch wide cables, and lay the mile-long road across the sound. It's a beautiful sight, but when the wind picks up, the bridge ripples and sways, a phenomenon known as aeroelasticity. Construction workers start calling her Galloping Gertie. But despite the design problem, the bridge opens up on July 1st, 1940, to much pomp and circumstance. 4 months later, however, 42-mile-per-hour winds racing across the sound turned the bridge into a mile of buckling metal. The entire road oscillates 30 feet from side to side. A frightened motorist abandons his car, leaving his paralyzed dog behind. Fearing the bridge will collapse at any moment, a bystander attempts a courageous rescue and ventures out onto the twisted steel. With every contortion, the bridge weakens and the 4,000-ton main cables are stretched to breaking point. Finally, the man reaches the car and tries to save the dog, but time is running out. The bridge starts to break up. He has no choice but to return to safety. Then, the inevitable. The center span goes crashing into the water below. Then, several seconds later, another gigantic section drops. The rescuer makes it off the bridge unscathed. Sadly, the dog does not. In the end, Gertie sinks over 30 fathoms to the bottom of the Narrows and goes down as one of the greatest engineering blunders of all time.
Oh my God, look at that fire!
Ontario, Canada.
Oh my God! Holy...
A ship burns out of control and a crew member tries to batten down the hatches and contain the blaze.
God, jump off the boat, guys! Look at all...
On the riverbank, onlookers are left to wonder about the fate of the remaining crew members.
That's a lot of damage. If no one was killed, we're awful lucky.
Moments earlier, as the boat approached the bridge on the Welland Canal.
No, a boat that size?
Oh my God. You got that on film? Oh my gosh.
That is disgusting. There's people in that top part, eh? They could be killed.
Oh my gosh.
I've never seen such a thing.
The ship's momentum makes it impossible to stop.
I've never seen such a thing. They could be killed.
As the boat runs adrift down the canal, the danger continues.
He's out of control now.
It's going to go right into the bank.
The crew of the Winddock tries to drop anchor and stop the ship. Then, it's hit with another disaster.
The boat's slowing down?
Yeah, it is.
Oh my God, look at that fire! Oh my God! Holy... God, jump off the boat, guys! Look at all...
I know this would happen.
The flames quickly engulf the upper deck.
Jumping off yet?
No, I haven't seen a thing. Holy mackerel, never seen such a thing. I was shocked.
Minutes later, fire crews arrive and contain the blaze.
Unreal.
An investigation revealed that the bridge operator accidentally lowered the bridge too soon. And the captain, who was still in the wheelhouse, was able to escape injury by hitting the deck as the bridge passed over. Luckily, no one else was seriously injured. This is the charred wreckage of China Air Flight 120. The following footage is an unedited version of the chain of events leading up to this disaster. Minutes after landing in Okinawa, Japan, engine number 1 is already engulfed in flames. In such an emergency, commercial airlines are required to evacuate within 90 seconds. One by one, passengers on board jettison to safety. As they see the fire, they realize just how dangerous the situation really is. Beneath the engine, leaking fuel is ignited. They realize that this plane could explode at any moment. Even though the inside of the plane is rapidly filling with heat and smoke, the evacuation remains orderly. Little do the passengers know that the only thing separating the 2 tons of highly flammable jet fuel from the fire is a thin sheet of metal. Passengers make their way down the inflatable slides and scramble for safety. Some risk their own lives to help others. In an attempt to buy the remaining passengers and crew members on board some time, one brave rescuer tries to suppress the flames, but his handheld extinguisher is no match for the spreading fire. Once the extinguisher is spent, he has no choice but to retreat. As the temperature of the fire increases, the fuel gets closer to reaching its critical flash point. The crew begins to evacuate. Unfortunately for the captain, the smoke is so thick he can't make his way to the emergency exit. He has no choice but to bash the window and escape out the cockpit. Then, just when he thinks he's safe, the massive explosion nearly rips the plane in half. The blast is so powerful, the captain is propelled out of the window and drops to the ground 2 stories below. Miraculously, he's able to get up and escapes. Finally, emergency crews arrive at the scene. It takes over a half a dozen fire trucks spraying fire retardant foam to get the flames under control. The Despite the seriousness of the disaster, no one was killed. Investigators discovered that a loose bolt punctured one of the fuel tanks, causing the fire. This resulted in the entire line of Boeing 737s being inspected to prevent similar disasters. Zimbabwe, Iraq. Silence fills the air surrounding this deserted house. But that's all about to change. Why was this house destroyed? While patrolling a local neighborhood, U.S. soldiers were made aware of Al-Qaeda whereabouts within the small town. There's evidence that this house has been used as a torture chamber.
All the SOIs say this was the torture house. It was a former Shia residence that at some point was taken over by AQI.
Hostages were handcuffed to barred windows and chains linked to wired bed frames. A manual is discovered detailing the enemy's torture techniques. The U.S. Army makes a decision.
Today we're going to use an airstrike to destroy this house and cleanse the area once and for all of Al-Qaeda.
The house is cleared, then seemingly out of nowhere, the B-1 bomber appears. In total, 6 GPS-navigated bombs were used to destroy the compound. This type of guided weaponry can be dropped from up to 17 miles away, hitting a target at 200 miles per hour, with accuracy within 43 feet. The immense power of these bombs reduces this one-time house of torture to a giant crater. The B-2 stealth bomber is the U.S. Air Force's most sophisticated weapon. The cutting-edge design makes it invisible to enemy radar, and massive internal bomb bays allow it to deliver a devastating array of missiles and munitions. In 1997, the Air Force ordered 21 of these machines at an estimated cost of over $1.4 billion each. In terms of dollars and cents, the video that you are about to see is the most costly accident in military aviation history. February 23rd, 2008, Guam. After a month of deployment at Anderson Air Force Base, 3 of the military's B-2s are heading back home to Missouri. It's a remarkable sight as the base's robotic security cameras pick up the plane called the Spirit of South Carolina, accelerating down the runway and taking off into the air. Next on the tarmac is the Spirit of Kansas. All systems are go as the 2-man crew prepares for takeoff. The B-2 thunders down the tarmac and the nose begins to lift. It looks like a picture-perfect takeoff. It's only when the B-2 begins to lose altitude that there's any indication that something is wrong. The pilots struggle to gain control. Then, just above the runway, the left wing begins to dip. Seconds later, the $1.4 billion aircraft is lost in a cloud of smoke. The slow pan of the security camera reveals the devastation. As the jet goes down, the 2-man crew has no choice but to eject. Both pilots sustain minor injuries and are released from the hospital. An investigation concludes that moisture in the electronics caused the B-2's computer to malfunction. As a result, the pilots lose complete control of the bomber. It's hard to imagine that a little condensation caused over $1.4 billion in damage. Reminding us that even technological marvels can be destroyed in seconds. Tornado Alley, home to some of the world's most severe storms. And not far behind come the storm chasers.
What's that up ahead? Whoa, tornado crossing the road right in front of us.
For the past 10 years, Scott McPartland,
Whoa, Dad, let's get in.
Dave Lewison, and Chris Cridler have been chasing storms in hopes of documenting the Earth's most powerful tornado, a Category F5.
Look out for the lightning.
And on this particular day in 2004, it didn't take long for them to find what they were looking for.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Did you see that?
Like something out of The Wizard of Oz, an entire house is lifted off of its foundation, still intact. Then it's turned upside down before disappearing into the massive vortex.
The whole house came apart.
Amazingly, the inhabitants were safely huddled inside the basement. The tornado has passed, but the danger's not over.
Oh God, that's hail. We're gonna get nailed.
Hailstones associated with thunderstorms weigh up to 2 pounds and can drop from the sky at more than 100 miles per hour. So the following season, Scott and Dave are coming to the alley, prepared.
We're getting the hail guards all fabricated.
This is the chicken wire hail guards. They look great. They look awesome.
Or hail guard for the windshield.
With the protective guards in place, the team once again heads out in search of the most dangerous storms on Earth.
Whoa, Dad, let's get in. Let's go.
And it isn't long before they find what they're looking for. Another F5 tornado. These seasoned veterans know that the exact path of a tornado is impossible to predict.
What should we do?
We gotta go north and then east before the core gets us.
Can we do that?
I hope so.
Holy cow.
As they try to outrun the twister,
We can't go east.
they run smack into a roadblock.
We have to wait it out right here.
On one side, down power lines.
And you're in front of me.
On the other, a tornado. And in between,
Oh, God.
a hailstorm.
Don't face into it. You're gonna lose the windshield. Oh, my God.
Softball-sized hail begins to pelt the truck.
Oh, you lost the window.
Oh my God. Just cover your face. Glass break. Oh my
As the storm finally begins to relent, they head for safety.
It felt like they were gonna come through the roof. Those were like 4.5-inch hailstones.
Once the storm is passed, they pull over to see how their reinforced SUV held up.
This is what you don't want to happen.
Hail guard did its best, but not against softballs.
But it's just oh my God, I got no paint. This windshield hail guard, as you can see, is bent in all the way to the window. So if it wasn't for this guard, this glass you see right here would be gone. The hood, look at this one. As you can see, the windshield is intact. Why is the windshield intact? I have Dave Lewison and his friend Mark to thank for that. Every one of these pock marks here, these would have been windshield impacts. There would be no glass left. The glass would be in our laps, basically.
And this other vehicle gets hit hard. With this damage, it's no surprise that hailstorms cause more than $1 billion in damage across the U.S. each year.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Did you see that? Oh my God.
Curriculate, Turkey, the state-owned munitions factory, is on fire. And a series of explosions cause widespread panic among residents. Medics attend to the wounded as firefighters try to extinguish the flames that consume the factory. And then a major explosion rocks the city. The cameraman, fearing for his life, runs for cover. Even firefighters retreat to escape the blast. A towering black cloud looms over the town as terrified residents vacate the city. Darkness falls on Curriculate as the locals sleep on the outskirts of town, while the factories burn throughout the night. By daybreak, the fire is extinguished, but much of the factory is destroyed. It's no surprise that these buildings are leveled when you consider the massive explosion and the violent shockwaves sent rippling up the hillside and across the city. An investigation discovered that the explosions were intentional and caused by an extremist group in the area. In total, 2 lives were lost and 10 people were wounded from the horrific blasts. Good night, and we'll see you next time.